Welcome to Mark Henry Golf. Right, before we get stuck into this video, if you could give us a thumbs up, ring the bell, give us a like and follow this lot, that would be much appreciated. Right, cool. So our video today is attacking distance, and everyone wants a bit of distance. So I get thrown at the word consistency quite a bit. In the process of achieving the consistency, you should gain some distance, but distance really moves those numbers, so it reduces those scores, gets the handicap down, and it's a lot of fun. If you hit it a lot further, there's a lot less pressure. It's better to be hitting an 8 iron into a green rather than a 6 iron and booming some drivers down there, which is all good fun. Cool, so the main bit to achieve distance is to take out the blocker. Right, so the top half of the body closes, is a closer. That will close the club face. So if you say put your bottom half in concrete and you were to throw something down there, generally it would go left. So if the bottom half's in concrete, that would go left. Then the bottom half of the body opens that club face back up. So that's with your lateral move, your drive into the floor, which will create a rotational move, and then a vertical. So those three combined are opening the club face back up, and there's your match. Now the difficult bit is that people mostly struggle with is the fact they're just using their top half. So the top half, like I said, will close the club face. Now all of a sudden you've got your top half trying to do both. So if you're not using the bottom half that efficiently and you're just swinging the top half round, like I said, that's going to go left. Now suddenly blockers come involved. So the main thing to avoid, the main thing to achieve distance and that consistency is to make sure each body part is working together rather than against each other. So each movement that you're producing is flowing through rather than fighting against each other. Now if the bottom half, like I said, isn't far in, you'll start putting in these blockers. Now that could be with the grip or with the angle of the club face. So you've done the grip so it's in a certain position that will open the club face on the way back and stop it going left. But today I'm covering the blocker. So what I mean by the blocker is this lead arm. So as you're coming through various different blockers, so you've got like the chicken wing as you come through, the scoop. So that is reducing an acceleration through the ball, and like I said, blocking it. So that's reducing club head speed, that is then reducing strike, so the contact, which then reduces the ball speed, which then you lose distance, plus you can hit a various amount of shots with that. So you could hit one left, you could thin one, you could hit one off the bottom, you could hit one off the toe, and you could hit one off the right, so then suddenly the inconsistency is gone. So first initially is to get rid of that blocker. That blocker's got to go. And that's pretty straightforward. So if you wear a glove and that, so you've got generally got a ball marker on the back of your glove, or if you've got a watch, so you do just a swing just above waist height, so that's facing towards the camera, and then you go back through and then it's the opposite. So you're just allowing this left arm to fold in slightly, so when you come through the elbow is more pointing down rather than coming through and pointing up. So then that's your blocker. So initially the ball will go left, but then you'll feel, if you can feel that smoothness of that swing, and the ball will probably be pinging down there a lot faster, because when you get that release on the way through, everything will go through a lot quicker. So it should feel smoother, less hindrance on the shot. So then suddenly it will zip through and you'll see that ball going further. So that's really good, build up that momentum. But we've got a slight problem, it's going left. So without me blowing your heads off, to help reduce that, let me just grab a tour stick, just put that on the floor. First test you need to do is to test your rotation of your trail arm. So if you're a right-handed golfer, your right arm. So you just put your arm out so it's at level with your shoulder, all stretched out, bend it to 90 and then just slowly rotate back. Now ideally you would get past your spine angle no problem without any effort, it would just spring straight back. Generally most people that I've seen so far just get to the shoulder and then it's starting to creak, so things are starting to feel quite stiff. Now if you have got that scenario, then we want our feet in a slightly closed position. So what I mean by closed is aiming slightly to the right of the target. So they're roughly pointing at about 1 o'clock. So now we've got rid of our blocker, we've got our feet in our position, which is going to help with our swing path, because if that restricted mobility, it's going to be very difficult to get it from in to out. Doesn't matter how mobile you are with your hips, if your shoulder's not playing ball, it's going to come over. So that's pretty important. So now we've got a slightly closed stance, we've got rid of the blocker. Now it's trying to implement that bottom half to drive through. So put your arms across the chest, club parallel to the floor, turn back and feel you're going to get that drive into that front foot, the push away from the floor and up into a rotation into a vertical. So you can feel the movement of that bottom half, so you've got that drive on the way through. A good one to get a feel for it is a spinning jump. So the jump where you spin around is just the first part of that. So first of all you would load back on your trail leg and then just drive through, but you don't need to jump around, just get that snap on the way through and that will open that club face back up. So we've got rid of the blocker, we've got the bottom half going, sync those two together and you'll be 100% moving that club head speed number. You'll get a better strike on the ball, better contact, faster ball speed, bigger distance. Please, any questions or comments, please send them through. Get rid of those blockers and see that distance increase.